So the publicity surrounding this film is pretty bad. There's a whole Rotten Tomatoes thing going on, a bunch of people hating on the movie. IMDb score is not that good. But I'm here to say that the movie ain't that bad. Sue me.
I'm so wasted.
I'm sponsored by God.
So Captain Marvel is directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, and it stars Brie Larson, Sam Jackson, Jude Law, and Ben Mendelsohn, to name just a few of the big actors in there. There's also that guy from Gladiator, who and he's also in Guardians of the Galaxy, who he's like got this African accent and everything. Great actor. There's a bunch of good actors in this movie. That's the point of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so there's a good cast for this. Brie Larson, Oscar-winning actress. She rightfully won for her work in Room. She was incredible in that movie. And so going into this film, I was somewhat excited, although I didn't think that the trailers for Captain Marvel were that good. I thought they looked kind of, I don't know, they didn't look that good. So yeah, going into the movie, I didn't know what to think. I was excited just because I know this is the movie that's coming before Avengers Endgame. But to be honest with you, that's really the only reason I came to see the movie, was because I knew that it would have something to do with Avengers Endgame. And so how about we just start with the things I liked about Captain Marvel? Number one, Sam Jackson's amazing in this movie. Sam Jackson is amazing in every movie that he's in because he's Sam Jackson. If you want to talk about some of the most charismatic actors of all time, you have to talk about Sam Jackson. I mean, goodness gracious. The guy, first of all, he looks great. The de-aging CGI technology is so good in this movie, particularly with him. It's almost like, you can kind of tell, maybe at times, that some de-aging stuff has gone on, but for the most part, I mean, it's perfect. Like, it's seamless, pretty much. I mean, he looks like a Sam Jackson from, 30 years ago. So he looks incredible. He's really, really, really funny in the movie. And he's charismatic. He's the great Nick Fury that we always loved. And he's got a bunch of great one-liners. And for me, he stole the show of the entire movie. Now, the one thing I didn't like about him in this movie was that his very strangely overly affectionate love for this cat that's in the movie. The way he plays with the cat doesn't make any sense. They could have done the same thing, but without him acting like a buffoon. I don't know why they made him just so lovey-dovey over this cat. It was strange. They were trying to be funny with it, didn't land some of the time. But other things I liked in the movie, Jude Law was really good, a very interesting character. Ben Mendelsohn, also really good. We got to see a little bit more of a complex character with Ben Mendelsohn. Usually he just plays, like the rich bad guy, or the rich, weasel, like he was in The Dark Knight Rises. But the guy's a great actor, and he's great in Rogue One as well, and he was great in Ready Player One, but usually he plays like this, this stuck-up, rich, asshole. And I was excited to see him play a bit more of a complex character that had lots of shades of gray. It was pretty amazing. Other things I liked, the story of this movie. The story of this movie was really, really, really cool. I will give, that was probably my, other than Sam Jackson, it was probably my favorite thing in the movie. Was the story was really complex, and it was a really, really, really cool origin story. I thought it was very imaginative, very cool, and I enjoyed it a whole lot. It was very different from other Marvel movies, had a great tone to it, a great balance between humor and just, fun. And so, yeah, I really loved the story of Captain Marvel. Yeah, and the first post-credit scene you see, really good. I will say, though, that the second post-credit scene, which is this will lead us into our negatives for the film. The second post-credit scene of Captain Marvel, unless I'm gravely mistaken here, makes no sense with the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. It like doesn't make any sense at all. It's it kind of pissed me off, actually. It was really stupid. I was like, what are you doing, Marvel? What are you doing? Other things I really did not like in the movie was you know, if you've seen in the trailer, Sam Jackson has both his eyes. So you learn how he loses one of his eyes in this movie. I hated the backstory behind how he lost his eye. It was stupid. Like, it was really dumb. Like, so dumb that, like, I'm upset about it. Yeah, I was amazed by how stupid the story behind Sam Jackson, Nick Fury losing his eye. It was pathetically stupid. But you know, I mean, other than that, before I get to my big flaw with the movie, you know, the action was really cool. The side characters were pretty cool. And, you know, overall, it was a very enjoyable movie. And I would say that it was a great movie if it weren't for one thing. And it shocks me that I'm going to have to say this, but Brie Larson, she did not pull off her humorous lines well. To me, like, at all. The dramatic stuff she was really good at, and I totally believed her. But she had like this very sarcastic and snarky attitude throughout the movie that was supposed to be cool and funny. Didn't buy it. She annoyed me, actually. And yeah, I was kind of like, wow, like, she kind of took me from thinking that the movie was really, really, really good to going, you know, it's good, it's worth seeing, but she honestly, like, I didn't think her performance was all the way around that great. I thought the dramatic stuff she was really good at, but the humorous stuff I didn't buy. I really didn't. I felt like she was acting, and that's not what, you know, an actor is supposed to make you think. Yeah, and other things that I also didn't like. I mean, with Brie Larson, like, going into this movie, I'd heard a whole bunch of bad publicity about it. Because Brie Larson is apparently, like, very much of an activist, like a feminist activist. It's like, we need to tear down what men have built up, and, like, all of it. Like, throw the baby out with the bathwater and all that sort of stuff. And so going into this, I was curious as to any political discussions that would go on during the movie. Given the nature that Brie Larson was the star, and the thing hasn't been marketed that well. Basically, what I think is, they definitely did do some, like, lines and stuff that's, like, you know, making jokes about men, but that's fine. Men make jokes about women. I don't care. But some of them were really stupid. And when I say stupid, I mean, like, they didn't work. They inadvertently insulted women. Like, one of them it was like a serious moment. It was about women in the military. And this woman who was like a pilot with Brie Larson at some point, she says, 6 years ago, women weren't allowed to fly in combat, so we weren't really able to do anything that mattered, and so we did this other mission. You see what I'm getting at? This woman basically said that women in the Air Force, unless they're flying in combat, aren't doing anything that matters. That is something that is written by a Hollywood writer, not anyone who knows anyone from the military. It's just, like, so stupid, and they insulted. It was like a giant slap in the face to everyone in the military, particularly women in the military who are not in combat. It's like, goodness, are you not important if you're, you know, I mean, do you have to kill someone to be important? It was stupid. And there were other lines and, like, you know, girl power statements like that did not land because they were stupid. Like, they were just dumb things to say. They could have made some better statements, and like I said, you know, like, not all of them bothered me, but the stupid ones bothered me because they were stupid, and I'm annoyed by stupidity. So there was that, and yeah, but overall, I would recommend you go see Captain Marvel. I enjoyed it, for sure. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. And like I said, it had a really cool story. Jude Law was really interesting. Ben Mendelsohn as well. For me, Sam Jackson was the best part of the movie. But they screwed up the backstory behind his eye. The second post-credit scene sucked. Brie Larson was a mix of good and bad. And overall, like I said, it's enjoyable. I would recommend you go see it. But it is not going to get a great score from me. Captain Marvel will get a solid B. I think that's fair, because there were a number of things that I just hated. Not major portions. It's not like The Last Jedi, where I like hated half of the movie and loved the other half. It's not like that. There are just a couple of things that were just stupid and like unforgivably stupid. And so that's why it gets a solid B, not a B+. It gets like an 87 out of 100. That's a good B. It's worth seeing. It's fun and it's cool, all that. I would recommend you go see Captain Marvel. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, if you have seen Captain Marvel or you want to see Captain Marvel, whatever you want to do, leave your comments in the comment section below of this video and let me know what you thought of Captain Marvel, or if you even want to see Captain Marvel. I'm not sure if all of what I just said there made any sense about the commenting thing, because I said, but until you see Captain Marvel, but we're moving on. That's the point. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked this video, please like it and subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel. And please, never forget to be